Do a single thing. All right. So the woman is 41, and she has decided that if you are older than 40, you have to start dealing with the possibility that you may not be getting a life partner. You may not be getting married. And she wanted to find out whether or not she's right. How do other people feel? If you're 40 and not married, or if you were 40 and not married, would you say that you would start to come to accept the fact that you might not get married? And what would you then envision for your life to be like? So the question, I guess, is there an age at which you should determine that it's too late, that you should start coming to a reality that you won't get married? Is there an age where you will begin to say, maybe marriage isn't for me or going to happen for me? Is there an age? Carmen says, the devil is a lie, I'm getting married. Wendy says, right, Carmen. So, Carmen and Wendy, is there an age that you would say, I should start just determining that I might be alone. I might not get married. Corey Barksdale has joined Love and Stuff. Thank you, sir, for coming to Love and Stuff. We're talking about, is there an age at which if you weren't married that you would say, I better get used to the fact that I might not get married? Even if you're married now, could you envision there being an age in either now or in the future where if you're not married by a certain age, you would say, I'm not going to get married? Wendy Brown says, love has no age. Cheryl Spiker O'Neill, thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. I didn't see you come in. Or Mason Tone. I'm sorry, I didn't see Mason Tone. I didn't see you all come in. I apologize. Cheryl says it's never too late. Life doesn't come with expiration dates. Wait on the Lord. No age limit. No God limits. Good point, Mason Tone. I keep saying Mason. Is it Mason? Carmen says, no, not at all. As long as I'm on this earth, I'm going to keep hope alive. Wendy says, amen, Mason. Amen, Sue. I'm sorry. I got to go to Sue. So, she's 41, our inbox person. Jesse Butler, I didn't know you were in here. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Jarvis Canty, good evening. I'm missing. It's not notifying me that you all are coming in. So, if I don't announce you, which is what my intent is, because Love and Stuff community can be powerful. And it can be even more powerful if people are identified, I believe, so that others know that you are present and that you are a contributor to our community. And I value your contribution, so I want everybody to know that as they come into the room. Jesse and Jervis are both gentlemen saying it's never too, well, Jervis didn't say that, but Jesse said it's never too late. Let me see who else I'm missing that's in here, okay? Oh, good. Okay, cool. So, is there anybody in here that would think of an age? If you were 60, would you say, if you were 55, if you were 45, do you start to change your thoughts? Wendy says, hey, Jesse, maybe she needs to adjust where she hang out at. Okay. Would you begin to change your thoughts? Let me ask this question. Your thoughts about the prospects of marriage. Let's say if you aren't married or weren't married at age 30 or age 25, and now you're 35 or 45. Did the prospects of marriage change such that you thought, well, wait a minute, let me think, maybe marriage might not be for me? If you're single or have been single for a period of time, did your prospect on marriage change? Curtis Mobley has joined us. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Valencia Edner has joined us. Thanks for being here in Love and Stuff. She's got her Tuesday morning shows. A word from her. I want you to tune into that. Valencia says, be prepared to receive and prepare that it won't. Love has no age, but learning to be alone does not mean lonely. Okay? So, Valencia, talk to me. If you desire to be married, though, should you prepare yourself that you might not become married, or should you just keep hope alive, as someone said earlier? What's up, Wendy? Jesse says. Sue, who is Mason Tone, says, I was determined. Come on, determined in capital letters. That I was never in capital letters, going to marry again, and I was in my 40s, but God said different at the age of 50. Come on, 50 and sexy. Don't tell your husband I said that. He might be jealous because I'm more handsome. Andre says it's not too late, but if me and Tracy ever call it quits, I'm done. I don't think you're going to call it quits. I think she'll probably kill you. She's a lawyer, so she might try to get away with it. Rashida says, what's the topic? Welcome to Love and Stuff. It's not notifying me when you all are coming in. I just, sometimes I just have technical difficulties. Nicole Black says, yes, turn around. So I'm kind of just peeking in to see who's in because it's not telling me who's in. Andre's laughing. You are right. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much right there. But Andre, so you have been married before, if I can share that with our Love and Stuff community. In between the time of your marriages, did your prospect about marriage change? Did you start to say, I don't know? Valencia says, hope, yes, but don't settle because you want a marriage and end up miserable. So do you think, Valencia, there's some pressure when you come around to the 40 mark to get married and to rush into something? Is there some pressure about, what's wrong with you? Why are you still single? Are you attracted to the opposite sex? So what do you do? You hope, but you don't settle. So what do you do in between there? Excuse me. Carmen says, no, sir, you always have technical difficulties. We're going to hire a sound. I told you last time, I needs me a sound team. I needs a sound team. I needs an audio visual team. Okay. So it's never too late. Can I get some likes from people who were married by the age of 30? People who were already married by the age of 30. Give me some likes. Are you all still there? Nope, my prospect about marriage was actually strengthened after my first marriage ended. Okay, I got one like. Rashida, at what age do you decide or think that you will not get married? What age is too late? Okay, thank you for telling her the topic. Thank you so much. So, my question is, okay, I got some likes. I'm married at 24. Okay. Anybody that married before 30, give me those likes. Okay. How is it on that? I'm in the right thing. Odd. Andrew said he married at 24. I don't think it's ever too late. Thank you, Rashida. Married at 27. Okay. Anybody that was married by 35. Married by 35. Married by 35. Give me some likes. That's what we said, Rashid. Okay. Give me some likes. And for the wrong reasons. Okay. Too young in hindsight. Okay. Kamal gave me a like. Thank you so much. Married at 24, then again at 50. Thank you, Mason Tone. I've never been married, engaged twice. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. How many of those people, so some people have been divorced, right? So I want you to think back to your perspective on marriage at the first marriage and your perspective on the prospect of marriage. Like Mason Tone said, hey, I never intended to get married again. Valencia said, yep, did it at 40 and it was a complete failure. Tried to make a mess of marriage. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. So, and the singles can be involved here too. I guess I'm trying to gauge, does time inform your ideal of marriage? Especially for those who've been married twice. Do you think differently about marriage and the prospect of marriage? Are you more likely to jump into marriage as you get older? Are you more likely to be pensive? Or you, the second time around, said, hold on, let me double check the credit. Let me double check whether or not he's got an alias name, whether or not she's got a trail of baby daddies. What are the considerations that you think of being single or getting married older? Yes, it does change as you mature. Okay, Andre, tell me how it's changed as you grow up. Okay? Tell me how it changed. Are the things that you look for? Hello, Staffy Blakely. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. I'd love to announce everybody as they're coming in, but something on my feature is not working, allowing me to do that. So I apologize if you come in and I don't say it right away. It's because I can't see who's coming in. Jesse said, after my first marriage went down in flames, flames, I thought I wouldn't get married again, but God, I had a good thing on standby. Oh, he had a good thing on standby. Come on, good thing! So Jesse, I want to ask you, was there ever a point after that first marriage, as you characterized it, your words, not mine, went down in flames? Did you think, you said you thought you'd never get married again. Is it because you didn't want to trust again? Or what was that like? Staffy Blakely, is there ever an age that's too old to the woman is 41 and she's saying she's ready to give up because 41 is really too old to be getting married. Is that true? Does your perspective change? And do you have to be careful when your perspective shifts so that you don't do, as Valencia says, just get in something because you want to get in something, make a marriage out of a mess because you don't want to be alone? Carmen says, I think time does change your attitude towards marriage. As a young person, you are willing to put up with more. As you become wiser, some stuff you're just not having. So, Carmen, you're kind of the opposite. You're saying, as you get older, you're like, nope, not doing that. Instead of, let me handle that because I ain't got too many options. Because that's kind of the sentiment I'm getting from our inbox on this one particular viewpoint. Ms. Tone says, one thing I know the older one is when they enter a relationship leaning towards marriage, it is a little harder because one is often stuck in their ways. Be prepared to share it and not have everything your way or the highway. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. Time does inform the idea of marriage. Do you think that time is a positive indicator in most instances or has a positive impact, Cheryl, or a negative one, an adverse impact the more time goes by? Andrea says, I wanted an equal partner after my first marriage. Okay, all right. Staffy says, no, never. I'm 53 and I'm getting it together for my next. Come on. You said goodbye to your ex. I'm ready for my next. Come on, next. I had to shake my head on that one. Good evening, Mr. Hernandez. I'm so glad to see you back. It's been a while. Welcome back to Loving Stuff. This is your community. Absolutely, you are correct, Carmen says. To who? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm correct. I'm not sure, but I'm working at it. Just checking. I'm just going to dip in and out to see who's here because it's not notifying me. Veronica Green has just joined us. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Amos Isaac has joined us again this week, 2 weeks in a row. Thank you, sir, for coming back. I'm honored and flattered that St. Louis is in the house. Daydon Blackman has, wow. Okay, what did I miss? I just got on. I didn't know you've been here before. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Daydon, is there an age at which you will say, nope, it's too late, I'm not getting married? Cheryl says, depends on whether the person sees marriage as an end game. Cheryl, explain that. Explain that viewpoint. I think you're on to something. You're often on to something, but I think you're on to something. Can you tell me something? What do you mean? Depends on whether the person sees marriage as an end game. Let's see. I'm just checking to see if anyone else has joined, so I'll be back to the comments in a moment because it's not notifying me as you all are entering the room, and I'm not sure why, but we'll work with what we have. We will work with what we have. Yes, we will. Daydon says, no, because I haven't been married. Want to. And so, Daydon, when you were younger, did you want to get married when you were in your 20s? And now that you're no longer in your 20s, do you feel that the chances have gotten smaller? Do you feel that your expectations have gotten greater? How has time informed your perspective on marriage? That's really, I think, the question. The inbox is speaking to us, and there's a woman who's 41, and she's saying, listen, I'm just getting in my mind that I'm not getting married because I'm 41. And I thought, wow, I'm 47. So that's not a good number. But her thinking is that if I was going to get married and find the right guy, I would have found him by now, or he would have found me. I played lost, I've done all of the things, and he hasn't found me. So why keep holding out hope? Just learn to live a single life. And so I wanted, in the second part, I wanted to ask in the inbox back and forth that we had, so what do you do about your sexual desires? And so she sent me the emoji where the eyes are X'd out, but the mouth is open. And I just fell out laughing. So she answered it, but not really answered it. But so what do you do about that? I mean, people have sex all the time, sure. People have sex outside of marriage, but those that espouse certain beliefs believe that that's supposed to be in the sanctity and confines of marriage. So a lot of people aspire to that, right? But her position is, I'm going to do what works for me. But I'm wondering, does it get informed over time? Mr. Hernandez says there's no expiration date on marriage because there's no expiration date on love. Come on, Mr. Hernandez. Excuse me, that was a bird trying to come up. Belch. Diane said, yes, I did still think God will put everything into place at the right time. I just had my heart broken, but I still believe God. Okay, so your heart was broken, and after that point, you're keeping hope alive. So time hasn't really changed your desire or your intentions. So let me ask this. A lot of times we say we want to get married. We're ready to get married. Are your intentions lining up with your actions? Are your intentions lining up with your actions? I know that's a question that's kind of off the inbox, but since Daydon said he's believing God, are your works lining up to your faith? Cheryl says marriage for singles can the tendency of being a life goal. Got it. The desire should be to connect with a life partner. Come on, life partner. Amos Isaac says, after my first marriage ended, I shut my mind completely down to ever trying again. Tell me why, Amos. You don't have to give me all of the detail because I know you would right here on Love and Stuff. But can you tell me why your mind was shut completely down to the possibility that you would meet, fall in love, and marry, because some people don't like fall in love, but you would marry someone who's not that same person, right? And then maybe you wouldn't have those same challenges. Because sometimes we say the challenges are the other person connecting with us. So I'm going to go with that as a given. But if that's the case, could you meet and marry and fall in love with someone and be in love with someone that would work? Daydon says, I know God will. Come on, shake your head when you do that and lift your hand. Say, I know God will. So Daydon, are your actions aligning with your faith? Cheryl says, can lean toward that tendency. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Daydon says, yes. So tell me about your actions, Daydon. What are you doing that aligns with that belief? Carmen says, my works were not lining up to my faith, but now I'm positioning myself to be found now. Come on, position. Tell me about that position, Carmen. Lift your hands while you're telling me. Staffy, divorced twice. Just be careful what you ask for. Marriage is work. Now, Staffy, I didn't know you were divorced twice. I didn't know that. So that's interesting. Did your perspective change during the in-between times of those marriages? Meaning, did those marriages adversely impact your perspective on the prospect of marriage? Jesse says, after the first marriage, I would look for the qualities that my first partner was missing. Good point. I was ready to be alone, but God knew better, and he placed my wife in my path. God is amazing. Come on, lift your hands where you are, Jesse. Amazing. That is awesome. Daydon says, yes, they are. I'd like to know what they are. What are the actions? Because maybe we can share with our inbox community person to be able to help to inform her. What actions might she now take to align or to realign herself? I'm married for the first time at 39. I hadn't given up, but with that longer time, I was content being single. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that. If you hadn't married at 39, Cheryl, do you think that your perspective now would be different about getting married? Staffy says it did. Can you share how it did, Staffy? Carmen says, I'm getting out more and I'm not just going to church, work, and home. I'm living now and I'm happy while doing it. Come on, living. Come on, Carmen. That's wonderful because you're a beautiful young lady and I'm so glad you're looking lost so that you can be found. You're going out and enjoying life. And I think, we talked several Facebook episodes ago about the agreement of like attracting like. And if you like yourself, I think other people might like you too. if people watch you liking yourself. It was kind of like I was saying a couple Facebook episodes ago, Cheryl dances, and something about her dancing and her passion with the dancing. And I may not have shared all of this in the Facebook. This could be some inbox discussion. I'm sorry. But she has such a passion for dancing. I believe that she has a line of suitors around the corner because they're watching her dance and they're watching her passion. And when people watch you doing something that you're passionate about and watch you loving on yourself and liking yourself, that like attracts like. I really believe that. So, Carmen, I'm looking to hear some good stuff out of that. That's good stuff. Amos says, I just felt the woman I married was the one after dating for 11 years. When it didn't work with who my heart called the one, I just had no desire to invest in another. So you never wanted to know why she wasn't the one, or you weren't the one, or you all together didn't make the one. That was never a consideration, is what I think I'm hearing you say. Give me some likes if that's correct. Andre says, my perspective was strengthened after number one because I knew where I had gone wrong. That's good. That's good. That is great, Andre. And so you knew where you had gone wrong, and you pledged not to go wrong in this new relationship. Did you ever have fear or any trepidation that you might repeat those same things of the past before you got married to Tracy? Dedan said, position myself to provide for a family and being the man I'm supposed to be for my wife to show her what a man really is, and marriage to be everlasting. Come on, everlasting! My perspective is very different now. Cheryl, can you share how? Staffy, I was looking for you to respond and share something with us as well. And Valencia, I think, may have taken station identification, but I'm trying to make sure. Willie Rogers has joined us. Thank you, sir, for coming to Love and Stuff. I'm just doubling back to see who's joined us. Crystal Ingram has joined us. I think it's your first time. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. So we're talking about a 41-year-old woman who put in the inbox that she thinks that her chances of getting married are zero. So she's going to stop even positioning herself or trying. And so it begs the question, is there an age by which you should make a decision that you may not get married? Staffy said, married first time at 25. He went with best friend. I had no, you going to help me out. Second one, I was 39, pregnant. Didn't know what I was getting into. Nah, I'll stay by myself. Stabby, I didn't know all that. I did know, I think I knew that you got married. No, I'm not sure I knew. I don't know about the 25 because I would have been a little younger. So I'm not sure I knew about that one. But when you say you'll stay by yourself, you mean you don't want that kind of drama, I think you're saying, if it has to be like that. Andre says, heck yeah, I was scared as hell to get married again. What scared you the most, Andre? What scared you the most? And how did you face that fear? Because that, I think, will be helpful to our inbox person who I think is just fearing. There might be some fears that are born out of past relationships, and there might be some fear that she will be rejected or will be lonely. So it's important for you to share, and I appreciate it. Cheryl says, I enjoy companionship and solitude. My advice to the lady is not to feel hopeless and to enjoy your whole life. That brother will have to catch up to you. Cheryl, you are testifying because we know brothers from around the region are trying to catch up to you. Come on, catch up. Waverly Bumbry has joined us. Thank you, sir, and congratulations on your mortgage burning. We're talking about, is there a cutoff age by which you should expect that if you are not married that you won't be? That's what we're talking, and it came straight out of the inbox. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Dedan says, all women or men are bad. It's just finding that one. All women or men are bad? Explain that, Dedan. I'm not sure I understand it. And if I do understand, I'm not sure I agree with it. Cheryl is laughing. You know I'm telling the truth. Amos says, we know why it didn't work, but neither of us took the proper steps to fix it. She talked to her girlfriends, and that pushed me off. So I shut down completely. And as you know, lack of communication will, and I got dots and it didn't come on. Andre says, failing again. Failing again. What you failing at? Oh, you had the fear of failing again. Got it. Pissed me off. Thank you for that. Dana says, aren't. Oh, okay, Dana. I had to make sure you corrected that. Oh, Carmen knew what you meant. Long as you and Carmen ain't going on a date, we good. No, I'm teasing. I'm not matchmaking and I'm not match breaking today. Not matchmaking or breaking today. Notice I said today. Staffy said, yes, sitting here now talking about just changed my mind about doing it again. I'm good. But don't give up if it's what you want. So, Staffy, are you saying it's not what you want, or the desire not to have to deal with some of the things you've experienced is greater than your desire to be married again? Is that what you're saying? Or you're just saying, nope, I'm good? Because I could see you being quite the wife to the right man. And I just wonder if, your positioning, I'm wondering if your affirmations are lining up with that faith, or if there is some fear about being hurt again that inhibits you from realizing that inner goal. You know, I think sometimes we have fear around the things that we really want. We have the fear that we might not be able to get them. And so we set up a defense mechanism that really blocks us from being able to get close to the thing that we really want on the inside. It's fascinating to me. There are some things that I want to happen in my life, and I realize I've built up some defense mechanisms in the event that they don't, which is preventing me from getting closer to the resources that could bring me to the very thing I want. So I'm wondering if that's true for you. Lack of communication will end it all. Thank you, Amos. I seem to be intimidating to men because of my position. And I'm just wondering, is there a way that you play your position to the middle? You know what I mean? So, because there are men that like aggressive women, but there are also men that like a woman who knows how to be assertive and play it to the middle. So assertive is letting, in my definition, my love and stuff kind of vocabulary. Assertive for a woman is when you let a man know that you're interested, but you don't make the move to bring him to you. You don't aggress him. You don't confront him. You don't necessarily approach him, but you maneuver in a way that you assert your intention, that you're available and that you could be available to him. Instead of, I am Shiro, watch me roar. Not saying that that's you, but that could be the perception of you that might be intimidating. And have you ever thought maybe there's a way to soften it in a way that plays to the middle of the wonderful, warm, funny, loving, kind-hearted person that Staffy is, that a lot of men are missing out on because they see this person, this position? But is an approach bad? I think there are men, Carmen, that would love to be approached. But, and I can't speak for all men. I'm not the president of the Men's Association tonight. But a lot of men want to know that a woman is interested in them, but they don't want the woman to take the lead. And so if you're taking the lead and you're finding that no one is following the lead, it's because those men don't want to be led. And off topic, be careful of the men that do want to be led. Just my advice. Valencia says it takes time, energy, and sacrifice. Not sure I want to go there again. And my life has changed so drastically. God will have to send the one who can adapt to the life he has called me to. I'm open, though, just not in pursuit. Okay? Are you, Valencia, I'm just wondering, is your life space set up for someone else to be in it? Are you making room for someone else? Or would that be pursuit? Staffy says, I'm super submissive one-on-one, but when I need to lead and do what I do, they don't get it. Yeah, I think that the right man would find that stimulating, for lack of a better love and stuff term. He'd really dig that. So I just wonder if do you play around with your blends, I guess? Do you play around with the way that you blend it? Because that might be the key in showing a man who's already been looking. Because see, I believe, at least from my experience, as limited as it may be, men are always scouting, and they're always paying attention to women, sometimes even married men. They're paying attention, but they're determined whether or not they're going to make a move based on your last chess move. And so, CHESS. And sometimes based on that move, they determine if you're too aggressive, too or whatever the twos are for them before they make a move. So I'm wondering that do you play with your mix? So when you need to lead, do you ever play with the mix to make him think that you need him to lead? just to see how he responds. Latrice, you are intimidating. I'm teasing, and welcome to Love and Stuff. I believe that women who come into their own, who haven't always been into their own, can be intimidating when you first meet a man, because you are asserting yourself in a way. Sometimes it might feel like to a man you're doing too much, but you're just asserting yourself because you're coming into your own. And maybe you blend the edges. Maybe you smooth it out to play a little to the middle. That doesn't make you a different person. I think it just shows you that there is balance and you're not all high end. You know, I would think that, especially, I'm not just saying Tracy, but I think that especially for Cheryl, Valencia, and Staffy, not because I've experienced it with you all, but because you're such powerful women of the gospel, women who are in leadership roles, in the civic and in religious areas. Men might find that very presence intimidating. And I'm wondering if there's room to present the mix of who you are in those roles or in that presence. Andrew said, yep, that's wisdom, bro. That's just my thing. Staffy, where is he? I think he comes to church. I think he listens to your radio show. I think sometimes he might be in the airport. But I think sometimes, have you ever seen somebody and you kind of prejudge them and say, you don't even know that you're saying sometimes to people. I think your expressions say, not here. And I think if you play to the middle a little bit, play to the middle is what keeps coming to me. Now, I'm not saying it's coming to me from a lightning bolt from God. I'm just saying that's what was coming to me. I'm not saying that. Andre says, yeah. Or chest. Carmen, that's why I spelled it, because I knew you would put a T there. I do play with, they usually miss the cues. Well, then that's not the man I'm talking about. Most men, unless they're playing dumb, which that's still not the man I'm talking about, most men catch cues very well, because most men throw them. We will throw a cue from the other side of the room and be sitting with another girl. We interested in this girl, but you done caught more interest, and we'll throw a cue. Now, that might not be the best example because he probably got too much going on. But my point is, we multitask with cues. It's like we took a cue university. So we'll throw a cue. What? Play damsel in distress? No, Cheryl, I don't want you to play damsel in distress, but there is a caring, loving, sultry way about Cheryl Swacker O'Neal that most men will not even get to see if you threw the cue, because they see the powerful preaching, teaching phenom that he is. So if there's a place in the middle where they can get to see how sweet and kind-hearted you are with a cake in hand in your jogging suit, the one that fit, they might say, that Reverend Cheryl is, yeah. And it'll shift just how they see you, because a man needs to be able to approach you. Most men, this is not true for every man. I'm not the president of men tonight. But most men need to feel that they can approach you. And there are some men that don't feel that they can approach some women. Room can be made, Valencia said, but there is so much demand from congregations that I think it seems like I have none. Intimidation is real, but not for all. He has to come remembering that I'm still a woman, but I get you. It's going to give me the rest in a second. Play to the middle. Yes, Tracy. All of those things I taught you about when you were with Roger, all of those things are playing to the middle. Because, see, you could run the house without Roger, but you can never let Roger think that you could run the house without Roger. You have to make him a part of it. Playing to the middle. It isn't playing dumb. It's playing, letting his strengths shine in areas where you're strong. It's pulling back some. him drinking a little too much might not be a good example for him. Not Roger. I'm not saying Roger. And you pulling back and saying, well, you know what? We should work on that. No, I'm going to have water. Instead of maybe saying, oh, you going to just come up with a 40 like that on me? Bye. You kind of just a little to the middle. If that makes sense for you. Right? Talking, hey, cousin, I didn't know you were in here. Sorry, Leonard. I'm trying to announce everybody as they come in. Staffy said, okay, I'll take that advice. I really do want you to. I really want you to the next time that you meet a man, as you have a way of saying, hey, how are you? Give that big smile that you give. You know how you get that big smile when you're really happy to see somebody? And soften that handshake and look him in his eyes. And if he fumble on words, he was thinking that he would have a chance to say more. Because he was thrown off guard. Don't give him the evangelist shake. How you doing? God bless you. Just say, hey, how you doing? And put that big Staffy smile on him and soften that handshake and lean in a little bit so he can smell the pheromones and look him right in the eye. And if he starts stumbling talking, say, oh, okay, I never knew that. And it's going to be somebody who you think is attractive, but he's not paying attention to you, but he is. It's what he thinks you're sending, the message that you're sending him, I think. And I'm sorry if I'm way off the topic of our inbox person, but I think it just delved a little bit. In my humble opinion, you can be strong and confident, yet open and inviting. Smile sometimes. Smile a lot of times, Cheryl, especially a number of you on here have beautiful smiles. And sometimes that smile diffuses so much of the anxiety maybe a brother has about, oh, I'm going to be approaching Reverend Cheryl. I'm going to say Reverend Cheryl. I normally wouldn't say Reverend Cheryl or Reverend so-and-so. But sometimes it's hard for a man to unsee these titles. And so he's like, but you smile, and he's like, doggone it. Valencia says, point about the middle. Point about the middle. Okay? Yes, I've been softening. I bet. Say it again, Valencia. I'm not sure what you're telling me. When a man gets involved with a woman who's strong in areas, if you love her, then you meet her where she is and y'all walk it out together to get to the balance of it. Okay? Thank you, Leonard. Tracy said, me too. Point of the middle. I'm not sure if Tracy's responding to that. You all clarify that for me because I didn't get it. Learning to talk to me and not at me. Okay, Leonard, that's good. Staff says, okay. If a man feels that he can't approach you, he shouldn't. I wouldn't want to have to cajole somebody. You'll do that for life. Well, here's what I'm thinking on that point, Cheryl. I don't think you have to cajole them, but you do kind of have to, you might have to deal with the fact that some men might find your strength tough to approach. And if in some way that you can show them your strength is a part of your beauty, it's a part of your who you are, and it's nothing to be intimidated about. Sometimes men need that. Not every man, but there might be some good brothers who just hasn't come up to his mind that I'm going to approach her because of the strength. And if he can see the beauty in the strength or see some of the balance in the strength, he might not feel as bad about approaching you. So I think he should approach you if he wants to approach you and there is some fear or barrier. Staffy is laughing. If he smells that, it's on and popping. All I'm saying, Staffy, I'm saying that we know the Bible is right. And we know Hannah and we know Sarah. That's all I can say. If it's on and popping, all I'm saying is I pretty much think that a number of beautiful women are in the Facebook Love and Stuff community. And I just wonder if it's because it's a shortage of men, if it is because it's a shortage of like connections. For Carmen, it's a shortage of being your authentic self, or if it's a shortage of women who might play to the middle. I'm just wondering. Carmen says, good advice, Leonard, learning to talk to a man and not at him. Valencia, I get your point about the middle. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Because, again, you know, all of these beautiful women, I don't think marriage has to be, as Cheryl said, your life goal. You should have a life partner. I agree with that, and I'm going to see if I can hashtag that. That's good. But I do believe that there are a lot of women who might be shortchanging themselves as it comes to relationships, and even our inbox person might be, if you don't find a well-balanced way to present yourself. The whole of who you are. You're a strong, vibrant, anointed woman in leadership. And there are times that requires you to be aggressive, disciplined, and a lot of the things that aren't always considered soft, considered womanly. But it doesn't take away from your womanhood. It strengthens and enhances it. But sometimes our lenses as men have to be adjusted a bit to see it. And you can help us by playing it to the middle a little bit. Be true, I get your point. Okay, thank you. Jeffrey LaValle has joined us. Thank you, sir, for coming to Love and Stuff. Let's see who else has joined us, just in case I miss. Kenyatta Roxanne, who's soon to be one of our guests. She's an author, recently released her book, and we're going to be having her on soon. Thank you for coming to Love and Stuff. Be grateful to have her come and be our guest. Tisha Marie Johnson has joined us. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. I think her first time coming to the Love and Stuff community. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming. We're talking about, is there an age from our inbox? One of our sisters in the inbox says she's 41 and she's given up. She's beginning to resign to the fact that she may never get married. And so I'm wondering, is there an age by which we should determine that we should start thinking, I'm just going to be single, and just come to the realization I'm going to be single? Or is love, as Mr. Hernandez has said and others, love is without expiration, and so is marriage then, because love is without expiration? What do you all say that are joining us now? Hello, Kenyatta. I'm so glad you're able to join us. What do you say? Is love without expiration, meaning marriage is without expiration? Or after a certain age, should you just be prepared to say, I'm not getting married again? 41 is still young. I know, we're living longer. We're looking good. You looking good, Willie. I'm looking good. Hey, Tisha, we're all looking good. My dad was 79. Mom was 83. On his side, people lived into their 90s. I'm hoping to be Abraham with a ram in 91. I heard the actor from Queen Sugar says she has a 92-year-old friend, the one who plays Aunt Vi, and she asked her, when do women stop feeling the urge for sex? And the 92-year-old woman told her, you let me know when you find out. So I want to be that person, right? But I wonder, is there a part of your conscience that says maybe it won't happen, and that's at a certain age? Valencia says she should be careful, inbox person, to avoid living out life bitter because there is a desire, but time has made it feel futile. There is nothing worse than regret. Good point. So she could be moving into a bitter space, I think you're suggesting, because this desire hasn't been made manifest. And my question to her really was, sometimes when we really want something bad enough, and I don't mean from a desperation point, I think we start to change our actions to align with that. So I asked her, are your affirmations are you sending out signals to men that you want, not, here, there's a man, signal, but are you starting to reposition yourself to be someone who is ready to be married? Because we could be saying, I want to get married, but we don't, like Carmen. Carmen she only went to church, to work, and home. Well, you might find a man at work. If y'all have a no fraternization policy, y'all not getting married, right? You might find a man at church. You might. You might find a man at home. If you do, he's a burglar. Put him out. So, what do you do? She said, I'm living my life now. I'm going to places. Guess what? There are men there. Sure. There are men at bowling. There are men at the grocery store, which is my number one. I tell people, number one grocery store. There are men at skating. There are men at the gym. Some of the men join the membership. Some, like me, join because you need to start doing some exercising, even though I've done poorly this year about going to the gym. But there are men there who want to see women. So if you start to go places, you start to open yourself up to be seen. But I wonder, are her affirmations lining up with that? Latrice said, I hope not. Hey, Kenyatta. Carmen says, Willie says, yes, we are looking good. Yep, Willie, we are both looking good. Staffy says, yeah, 41 is a great time. Okay, that's good. I don't think there is an age to think you'll be single. Folks think they're older than they really are. 41, that's ridiculous. You know, when we were younger, Kenyatta, we might have thought 41 was old. Now that we're 41, even though I'm a little older than 41, I'm like, shoot, I got a lot of living to do. And that's my intent, to do a lot of living. Tisha says, my grandmother got remarried at 83, so there's hope in my opinion. She's happy. Come on, grandmother! Kenyatta says, oh, hey, Carmen. Stafford says, yes, Tisha, grandma gives us hope. Yes, she does. Tisha's grandma rocks. That's right. And Staffy, you do too, and I need you to know that. Latrice is laughing. Tabitha has joined us. Thank you, Sister Goodner. I appreciate you. Staffy, yes, I love seeing her happy. Yes. Go, Granny. Ain't that something? I want to interview Granny to see what they doing. Granny, just what happens after meal? No, I'm teasing. Tisha, don't tell your grandmama said that. Darrell Dawson has joined us. Thank you, sir. So much, sir. Appreciate you coming to Love and Stuff. Kenyatta says, do what you enjoy. You meet people when you least expect it. If you're doing something that you enjoy, so is he. Then you meet as two people enjoying and becoming friends. It should start as friends anyway. Good point. And I was saying earlier, Cheryl Swacker Cornell has the line of men around the corner. I'm going to have her teach a class. She got a line of men around the corner, but one of the secrets, I think, a woman that can bake. Ding, 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 ding. Right, Tisha? Woman that can bake. Ding, 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 ding. Second thing is, she loves to dance. And so she goes dancing. And guess what? They see her enjoying dancing, and everybody wants to dance with her. Because when a man sees a woman, or a woman sees a man doing something he enjoys, you see that passion, and like attracts like. And so you want to be found. Show somebody what you enjoy doing. Let them see you enjoying it, and you'll be surprised at how people are drawn to your passion because you have it. Cheryl's laughing, but she know I'm telling the truth. I love Granny too, Valencia saying. I appreciate you, Marcus, in my Eartha Kitt voice. All right? Be careful, Tabitha. We not married. No, I'm teasing. Sean Harding has joined us. Welcome to Love and Star, brother. Tisha says, yes, sir. David Stewart has joined us. Thank you for coming back to Love and Stuff. We appreciate your being here and a part of our community. But I do really think it's important that you're doing. Tabitha's laughing. Keep on laughing. Second, Ebenezer's going to have a wedding. No, you stop playing. It'll be all over the internet. We have been and broke the internet tonight. Seriously. We talked a few weeks ago on a Facebook or so that like attracts like. And when you're being your authentic self, you're going to attract someone who's attracted to that authentic self. And when your passion is at its heights, and when it's heightened, it attracts people. That passion draws people. Ask Cheryl. It draws people. And it will draw people that you're not even intending to draw. People will be enthused about you that you aren't even thinking about. But you have to kind of look up and look around and see what your passion is doing for you. Your passion is speaking for you. Kenyatta says, I don't like the dance atmosphere because guys are dancing with every woman. It feels like kind of dance cheating. Makes me feel some type of way. Well, I think that it could be dance cheating, or it could be just, dating with a purpose of getting the dance in. Because, see, that's what Cheryl's doing. I just want to dance. But a man that sees a woman that is beautiful and he's passionate about does not just want to dance. He wants to dance only with her, and he wants her to only want to dance with him. Instead of the true purpose of, I love dancing, or I love singing, and I love reading, and I love thinking. And those things, if I see someone doing those things, that's passion that draws you to people. And I can expect, if I look around and take inventory of what's going on around me, I can see what I'm drawing when I'm being my authentic self and my passion is heightened. So you got to... Tisha says, baked goods, dancing too. See there? David, marriage, what did I miss? Did you miss marriage? I don't know. David, is there an age at which you would think you're too old to get married? Is there a cutoff age for you? That's very true. It's inviting. You're open and welcoming. You're open and welcoming. Whatever it is that you love to do, right? If you love to preach, if you love to teach, if you love to go-kart race, if you love to shop, whatever your passion is, if it is you being your authentic self, there is a like agreement that will happen with someone being attracted to that. Jesse says, what's up, Sean Harden? Yeah. Don't purr like Eartha, okay? Help her out. Sure, help her out. Right, Sherry. We keep coming back to this. One can't be authentic till they know who they are. It's the foundation. It is. But isn't it one of the greatest pursuits of our lives to be who we are authentically, to be who we are authentically are, to come to some awareness of who we are? Because people spend so much time camouflaging and hiding who they are because not everybody feels that everyone will accept who they are, right? And then once you become who you are, I believe you're supposed to be evolving in who God wants you to be. And you got to be open to that evolution. So if you don't start with being who you already are, how do you get to who God wants you to become? And along that journey to meet the other people that he's trying to put in your pathway to be in like agreement with you. So I think it's a premise I think we'll always come back to, especially if we're 41 and we're saying, I'm giving up on marriage. I don't know if life has scarred her to the point where she wants to just give up on marriage. But I think at some point, if you get the same scars or you're getting scars, you got to take inventory of that too and determine what is going on that I'm getting scarred. What's going on that my life is on the path or the trajectory that it is, and what can I do about changing that so that my actions are in agreement with what I really want, which is that life partner that Cheryl's talking about. Tabitha says, right, Cheryl. Jan Holmes Boyd, my cousin has joined. Thank you for coming to Love and Stuff. All these different men dance with me, touching me. Ugh. Now, Kenyatta, I never insinuated it was dirty dancing, so I need you to lift your hands and get your repentance now. Come on, not a word of English. Ba, 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 ba. I didn't say he was touching all on you. He's holding your hands, hand around your waist. He ain't grabbing your behind. What kind of dancing you doing? David says, no, right, music, painting, whatever. You shine in being while doing that. That's so correct. David said, no age limit on marriage. Okay, thank you, sir. Cheryl says, I love my life and I do get caught being happy doing what I like. Doing. Oh, that jumped too fast. What I like. People are attracted to that. They are. People are attracted to that. But with time, maturity, you can manage that. Come on, time and maturity. Tisha says you give up on marriage and relationship when you haven't fully healed. Good point, Tisha. Thank you. Good point. So it could be some healing. It could be some of the baggage I was saying earlier, Tisha. Some scars. And I think sometimes you have to take inventory of the scars, especially if they're patterned scars, right? If the same situation keeps happening to you, keep getting this guy who isn't who he really is, you got to start to evaluate that. I agree, Cheryl. Management of your boundaries. Yes, I know, Tabitha, you're big on boundaries. Hands, period. Kenyatta saying, okay, I'm with you, Kenyatta. She says, I agree, Tisha. Tisha says, yes, Cheryl. Excuse me, sis, it ain't that kind of dance. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to help Kenyatta out. It ain't the dirty dance. It's just the dance. Mrs. Keisha has joined us. Thank you for coming to Love and Stuff. Can't see the other folks that are still here, but okay. Oh, yes, I can. I'm sorry. My hand went the wrong way. Lady Veronica has joined us. Thank you for coming to Love and Stuff. Lisa Bradham has joined us. Thank you for coming back to Love and Stuff. Thank you, Lady Veronica, for coming back to Love and Stuff. We're talking about, is there an expiration age on marriage? Our inbox woman is saying she's 41. And she's not married, so she's going to give up on the hope of getting married because she should have been married by now. And I'm wondering if, for those that are single or those who are married, if you hadn't been married by a certain age, would you start to change your perspective on the prospect of marriage? Veronica says, hello. Kenyatta says, I don't think it was dirty. Y'all nasty. I thought it was ballrooming. Well, when you said, you kind of, the way it read to me was you were saying, it's kind of nasty, all the touching. Ugh. It was like, wait, why if you dance with 10 men and it was just dancing, why would that be nasty? That's what I kind of, Hi, Veronica. Hope you're well. That's when you said that, Kenyatta, it was kind of like it was the dirty dancing, like, okay, we gonna be grinding. That's the imagery that came to my mind, because I'm like, okay, typically when people are dancing, you have to touch, your hands touch, or you twirl her, you dip her, those kind of things. So I don't know if the number of men makes that dirty. That's the part I didn't get, so forgive me if I misread that. Tisha said, absolutely. Learn the lesson so you don't repeat the patterns. Right. And I'm with you. I think, man, you get the healing. Sometimes you have to find that you'll come to a realization, Tisha, that you weren't being your authentic self. And so you kept attracting these men who weren't being them authentic selves. They were attracted to who you were presenting instead of presenting the truth of yourself. Because if you present the truth of yourself, the person that isn't for you will repel you. And we talked about that before. That repellent is good when someone is telling you, I don't want to be with you based on who you are. And you should say, thank you, sir. This is a good bye. Because there are bad buys and good buys. So goodbye. Staff says, got to go. Great hosting and advice. I'll keep you posted. Please do on your journey of playing to the middle with your beautiful self. Hug yourself for me and go and be great, as they say. The hands on my hands, his hands on my waist. I don't like that. Not grinding. Dang. Okay. Yeah, so just the touching, the multiple touching. I get it. I get clarity. It didn't sound that way, but I'm with you now. I understand. You don't like so many different hands regardless to where they're touching. Got it. Got it, Kenyatta. Got it. Got it. So far, no one has said that there is an age by which they would say, no, it's too late for me to get married. No, I will not. Is there a length of time? Is there a length of time by which you would say, I'm not going to invest anymore in this relationship? Is there a length of time? So let's go to this inbox. She's 41. She was once married in her 20s. It didn't get out of her 20s. So my understanding, she was 25 and she was 29, around 29 when she got divorced. But she's been in other relationships, and she thought that if a relationship goes beyond 2 years, then it's not a relationship that's going to go into marriage. So she, in her mind, said, I'm not going to invest in a relationship that's longer than 2 years. Is there a cutoff? Especially as you get older, would you have a cutoff for the length of time you would invest in a relationship before it matriculated, if you will, to marriage? I have found that women, Kenyatta is saying, who have never been married by 40 start saying that they think that their time is up. I think their fantasy of marriage is just that. Marriage is totally overrated. It's not that exciting, really. It's a lot of work. I know that there are some couples that would certainly disagree with you, Kenyatta. Some are younger couples, some are older, who say, yes, it's a lot of work, but it is really exciting, especially if you do the work. So I can understand, from any perspective, that I could see how you might say that. From anyone's perspective, might say that. But why would you start thinking that your time is up at 40? Was 40 some magic number? I know it used to be the number by which we defined by men the beginning of midlife crisis. Women into their 40s, we started to say they were going to be moving into a menopausal state, late 40s, 50s. But what does 40 mean? Why is 40? Why would a woman or man think 40 is too late to get married? That sounds like marriage is a life goal, not recommended. You do need all that time to grow and build. I agree. You do need to grow and build. But should you say, this relationship's going well, but if after 3 years we're not ready to get married, I'm not investing any more time. And I wonder, would your response be different in your 20s than it would be in your 40s? Kenyatta says, I have no idea. I agree, Cheryl. I can see getting older before marriage only a factor in the prospect of having children, okay? All right? So you think 40 is kind of, because people do say sometimes 40 is kind of where risk of challenges with pregnancy and early pregnancy termination are increasing for women. People do say that. One of my dearest friends had her first child, so far her only child, but first child at 47. So, she could be an anomaly, absolutely. But do you think that, I know children are a result of marriage and a blessing from God, but do you think that women who want to have children and get to the 40 mark and haven't might be discounting the opportunity to still have a wonderful marriage? Kenyatta says having children is overrated too. Except I've watched, Kenyatta, the love, care, and custody that you've had for your children and how you really seem to enjoy it. So I'm very surprised to hear that response. Or you mean just the child bearing? The actual carrying the baby is overrated. Excitement is relative. If stimulation is the goal, then yes, it lacks excitement. But if marriage is ultimately partnering with someone who you are better with than without, I think that's pretty exciting. At least sounds pretty exciting. I've never been married, but it sounds exciting. Lady Veronica says, been married 20 years now, but hubby and I agree that we should have waited till we were 40 plus, and we believe most people should. Veronica, can you tell me why you believe that? I'm very intrigued to hear that, hear your reasons why for that, since you've been married 20 years. Why do you think 40 plus would be a time? And to someone's point about childbearing, would you have some concerns as to whether or not you would be able to still have children if that were a consideration? Kenyatta says, folks need to live and love the life they have. God gives joy to everyone who looks at life as the present it is. And what about those that look at life as what they aspire for it to be? Cheryl says, yes, I do think associating marriage and children together can be disappointing in ways. It doesn't have to be. Yeah. Yeah, it is a real communication piece, if that is your desire, you want to be married, but I don't think you should forego the hope of marriage because you won't be able to provide children. I know a woman now who, she is 42 and he is 36, and she is afraid that he is going to want to have children. And if she's unable to, or if the risks are too high, that's a conversation that's important to have. Tracy and I talked about having our own child after we got married. Simone was 3, so we had a baby to raise. No more kids. Hashtag no more kids. Kenyatta says, I agree with Lady Veronica. You don't really know who you are and have not grown into yourself before 40. Some people haven't. Some people don't. Some people do. So I think that is, that's kind of relative. I think that's kind of case by case. It could be, 80% of the people, 20%, 60, 40, 30, 70, I'm not sure. But I really think it depends on the individual, how you were reared, your maturity level, your life experiences as to whether or not you know who you are and whether you come into your own before 40. I will agree, there are things that I know about myself or knew about myself at 40 that I had no idea about 30, and at 20 I wasn't even thinking about. I didn't even think to think. I didn't even know that I didn't know. So there is some coming into my own that, I did at 40, but at 47, there's some coming into my own in some areas, right? But I do think it's important to come to a certain level of emotional maturity to get that agreement, to get that authentic agreement, because I think that authentic agreement is important. maturity, especially for men and their desires. We're so glad we waited till we were in our 30s to have children, and I wouldn't mind if I had her in my 40s because we would have been more prepared. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's relative, and I appreciate for you because you all have been married 20 years. So I think, you've had the span of your relationship as young people and now, older young people to really judge that for you. So I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you so much. Cheryl says, yeah, but we could talk to our younger selves. I'm telling you, it's some stuff I would have told my 20-year-old self. And I would have said it twice just to make sure I was listening to myself. Kenyatta said, I hated being pregnant. Yes, I love my children, though. The overrated part is that they are their own people and they get influenced by this world no matter what you teach them. It's way too hard to watch them I think that's part of the excitement. Sometimes it is a little terrifying. Sometimes, Autumn is going to make a decision and I'm like, no, pick that. Okay. What you going to do, honey? Oh, okay. Oh, you going to do that? Oh, okay. Well, yeah. It's another, yeah. Look under that one. So, yeah, you do. But you know that if you've done your work and demonstrating for them your authentic self and your hopes and aspirations for their authentic selves, it will all work itself out. And there is some joy in knowing that and some excitement in watching that. So, I guess that varies too. Carmen says, now what I have had a change of heart or disappointed in as I get older is wanting to have another child. But because I'm not married, I have given up on that desire. Is it because you think that there are risks associated with that, or why are you giving up? Why have you given up, Carmen? Hey, Taff. Hey, brother. Little brother. Train up a child. That's Bible. Come on, Valencia. Come on now. Kenyatta, jack their lives up with their decisions. That's the rest of that. Okay. I understand that. And they will make mistakes. And you might not believe this, but you and I made some too that our parents didn't want us to make. After they told us and instilled in us a certain way and certain things, we did not heed what they taught us. But at the end of the day, scarred, bruised, broken, we turned out okay. And so will our children. Now, it scares the heebie-jeebies out of you when you see them about to go down a path that you think is utter destruction. And you will pray and not a word of English for them. But you got to have faith in what you've instilled in them that it will come up at the appointed time. And there is even some joy in watching that. It can be scary at points, but at points you're like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Or you say, Dog, well, they made that mistake. Well, they could do this. Just like I'm sure God does for us. We made that mistake, say, oh, well, you can still redeem the time, or you can still do this. And we do that for our children. So I understand that, though, Carmen. It is something to watch. Not the risk, just the age of when I will be married. So you kind of would be okay with having the child. Would you be okay with a younger man? I'm just asking, Carmen. It's kind of off topic a little bit. Veronica says the truth is we probably wouldn't have gotten married to anyone. He and I would have been in a lifelong committed relationship but not married. As far as the benefits of being married legally, we would just have and it's going to show me the rest. So you don't think you would have married him? Candace says, train up, yes, but they still do crazy crap. It will come up if they make it to that point. I believe they will. We don't want them making the same mistakes. That's okay, but did you make it? Are you making it now? Carmen says no longer than 35. Now, Carmen, I think you're thinking of another show topic. Do you mean no lower than 35? Carmen. Younger. Thank you. I was like, Carmen, we're not on that show topic tonight, dear. We're not there. Just lift your hands and say, we're not there. We're not there. We're going to get there. Cameron has a show topic. Walter Steen has joined us. I think he just popped out. Denise Knight has joined us. Thank you, sir, for coming to Love and Stuff your first time. Denise Knight, thank you for coming to Love and Stuff. I appreciate your coming to our Love and Stuff community. We're talking about, is there an age that is Is there an expiration age on marriage? I know Walter Steen is going to say no because he recently got remarried. Congrats. And Mr. Hernandez, who was on earlier, said there is no expiration on marriage because there is no expiration on love. Straight out of the inbox, we have a 41-year-old woman who says that she's given up. The end of the year is it for her. She's tried. She's been married before. It didn't work out. And she is not going to hold out hopes. And so I'm wondering, is there an expiration on love? Michelle Ella just joined. Thanks for coming to Love and Stuff. Carmen is laughing. Making it? Yes, barely. Well, Kenyatta, sometimes you might think you're barely making it, and someone else who's watching you might think that you have a life to die for. So it's relative. Your perception of where you are today is relative compared to where God intends for you to be and where you will be. And all of that as it relates to the love capacity He's deposited within you. Not him or anyone. So Veronica, you would not, if you had it to do over, you would not get married. You would just have a life partner, long-term commitment, and that would be it. Is that what I'm understanding you to say? Tabitha says true. Anybody here who wished that you had waited, like Veronica? Wish that you had waited to get married? If you can share that, because some of you are married now, so that might not be the best thing for your spouse to hear. Wish that you had waited. I bet since she's given up hopes, her husband will finally find her. Our plans are not God's plans. That's a good point. And I haven't seen her in the room, even though I haven't been able to see everyone that comes in the room. But as you know, Lady Veronica, we do not announce whose topic idea, who it comes from. So I would never divulge that. But I don't think I've seen her come in the room, even though I've had some trouble seeing who's coming in the room. But I think that is important to share with her. Just when you're ready to give up might be the time that God sends your husband, because His plans are not our plans. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. So that is so true. Veronica says yes with him, though. Okay. I wish I had waited the first time. Okay. Okay, Andre, can you share why you wish you had waited? Your inbox lady is actually about to find her man. When you give up, that's when one comes. Okay. I think that's encouraging to hear. So we all should just give up. I think we should resign to the fact that we have control over it. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe not give up, but resign to the fact that you have control over it. You got control over how you present yourself. You got control over how much of your passion is on display. Your authenticity is on display. But you really don't have control over, at the end of the day, if this man will want to be with you or this woman will want to be with you. Is that fair? Kenyatta says your inbox lady is actually about to... Oh, you said that. I wish I had waited. Absolutely. Okay. And Kenyatta, do you wish you had waited? Because I think you've been married twice. Do you wish you waited both times? Andrew said, I wish I had someone in my life whom I trusted who would have told me I needed to wait. Okay. That's good. And I think it's good to have a brother or sister of accountability who says, nah, think on these things, right? Be content, Cheryl says. Cheryl, how do you get to that place of contentment when one of your top 3 things in life is you want a mate, you want a house, you want to be debt free? Let's say those are the things you want. How do you become content on where you are? Veronica says absolutely, but that's with anything in life. Andrea says I was committed to being a great father for the first time. I thought that meant being married to my child's mother, which that's how a lot of us were reared. My dad told me, if you come home with a baby, you better come home with a ring on the wife. Don't bring no babies here unless you done brought a marriage here. That's how he was. And so that echoed in my mind. So I could see that. Kenyatta says yes both times. Okay. All right. Kenyatta, do you think your 40-year-old self or thereabout would have married for the first time either of those two persons? Do you think your 40-year-old self, if you had met them in your 40s, would have married either of those two gentlemen? Tabitha says, but for those who are remarried, what were the lessons learned and love development gained? Good question. Good question. Andre could answer that, and there are a few others that could answer that who are remarried. What were the lessons learned and love development gained? That might also encourage our inbox person to hold out. I'm just checking to see who's still here. Have to swipe to the right, to the left, or one of these ways to see that, because it's not notifying me when you join the room. And you know I love to announce that, because I want everybody to know that you are valued in our Facebook community. You truly are. Okay. All right. We're coming up on our time. Most married people don't tell the truth about marriage. They make it seem... They make it seem like a fairy tale, but in reality it is not. I always say it's wonderful but work. Okay, thank you for that. You're kind of affirming what some of what Kenyatta was saying. 41 is not too late, for sure. I have a 60-year-old friend who got married a couple of months ago for the first time. She's connected with a high school classmate at the 40th reunion. Come on, reunion! There's about, I would not have married either of those Negroes. I wish I would have waited the first time and focused on my career and me. I was taught to stick and stay even though the toxic signs were there. Thank you for that. On contentment, you don't give up, but you do have to learn to relax and enjoy the other parts of your life. You are more than your marital status. That's good, and that's a hashtag. That is excellent. Well, we're coming to the 10 o'clock hour. We have plenty that... for our inbox person and for you. I think we're learning a lot about there is no expiration date on marriage, or as Mr. Hernandez said and countless others have said tonight, on love. Cheryl's saying you got to be content and enjoy the other parts of your life, because your life is more than a marital status. Your life goal is more than marriage. And so you have to certainly, I had to check my surroundings, girl. You have to certainly make sure that your life is fulfilling in and of your single nature, that you are being your authentic self, and that you are displaying that passion, because like attracts like. And don't give up at 41 when it doesn't happen. Reevaluate what's going on. Can you up your love game? Are you loving yourself? Are you loving God? God knows I'm trying to love him better, more and more. Each day, I mess up each day in my love game with him. But I'm trying to love him better and reflect his love back to me. Because the Bible says, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, mind, body, right? Mind, soul, right? And your neighbor as yourself. Which means you have to love yourself. You can't love your neighbor as yourself if you don't love yourself. So I'm working on loving myself more. And once I'm getting my constitution set, my affirmation set, my actions have to align with that love. And so if I'm loving the whole parts of my life, as Cheryl alluded to, and I'm being watched loving myself, then that authentic self is being viewed by other authentic selves who are either repelling that love or being drawn to it. And so 41 is just a number. It is a high number if I make it high, a low number if I make it low. It's in the middle if I make it in the middle. What's important is that I'm maturing along my journey and evolving in my journey to be the greatest authentic self that I can be, so that I'm positioning my actions and affirmations to line up with my belief statement. So if I believe that I'm worthy of love, my living and my lifestyle have to reflect that worthiness, so that I will be in authentic movement and be joined along my path by an authentic love opportunity. And it won't happen, I believe, if I say I'm just resigning to the fact that I'll be alone because then I'm fulfilling my worst fear. I really don't want to be alone, right? Or if I say I'm just resigning, I'm not going to have my ideas come to fruition because I've got some ideas that I'm working to come to fruition. Well, if I say that, my actions are going to align with that, and then it's not going to come to fruition. So if what I want is really the opposite of what I'm doing, I got to either change what I want or change what I'm doing. And so that's kind of the advice, if you will, that I shared with the inbox, and I'm sharing with you, that if you're of a certain age and you're saying, well, I'm too old for this or I'm too old for that, and it's not a too old, meaning physically the doctors told you that, okay, that's enough, you can't do that. Don't put those limits on yourself. Start to check to see if you're aligning your actions and your constitution, which I say is your unwritten internal document on the tablet of your heart that governs how you live. Is that lining up with what you say you want? Because we can say we want to be married all day long, but if we live selfishly and act single and don't give, and what I mean by act single, act as if there's no space and room for anybody to do anything. You do like Carmen do. I go to work, I go to church, and I go home. I give every man a firm handshake. I'm speaking on Carmen's behalf. I look him in the eye and I keep moving. Well, if your lifestyle is saying, I don't want to be open to anymore, then that's what's going to happen. Yeah, sure, you got to change what you want or change what you're doing. You got to align these things, bring them into agreement so they align for what you want. And what you want is possible. Never set an expiration date on it like it's milk. Never set an expiration date on it like it can't happen, because the very time that you are giving up could be the time, as has been said, where God is ready to show up and show out in your life. Hey, this has been Love and Stuff. I hope that you love talking about love and stuff. And this is a wonderful community that we want you to encourage at least 5 to 10 people by sharing this video with them or tagging them in the video once you share it on your page, so that we can grow this platform of love. You know, we do have to work on our relationship. I know there are different belief systems that come, but God is love. And the Bible says, he that knoweth not love, knoweth not God, knoweth not love, for God is love. He is love. And so that's where every love has to start. And I believe we ought to be in constant pursuit of our love relationship with God, which is work. And something similar to what Valencia said, it is exciting if you are really pursuing your love relationship with God. And then I believe that God wants you to get this next one right. He wants you to get your self-love right. Because out of your self-love, from him through your self-love, is how you are to love everyone else. You are to love everyone else in the manner in which you love yourself. No wonder the world is having such troubles. No wonder our country's leadership is in such trouble. Because we haven't gotten the self-quotient of love together. How am I going to love you and my love for me is as raggedy as can be? How am I going to be prepared to be married and I'm not prepared to be wholly single loving me? We got to spend that time on loving ourselves. And then we can change a world. We can change the world of our block, the world of our home, the world of our community, the world of our schools, the world of our churches, the world of our children, the world of our relationships, if we get the self-love by which we're going to mete out love to everyone else. And that's what I want to see happen in the world. Being loved feels so good. And loving equally as good. And what if everyone you knew or everyone you met walked away from an interaction with you, or walked out of a relationship with you? I don't mean walked away from, but walked out of an engagement with you and felt as loved as you had the capacity with which to give. I just want people thinking about upping their love game and changing the way we love each other. moving it from our lip service to our heart service, to our do service in our communities, so that we can change the consideration on love. Love is not dead, and love does not expire. Somebody said, but love died. He ain't dead. A part of love went to the grave, to the cross for you. He's so bad, a part of him went. It didn't require his whole self to accomplish demonstrating his love for you. But he gave of himself to accomplish that love for you and I. This is Love and Stuff. We've gone beyond our hour and 15 minutes again, but I think it's been some good love and stuff. Hey, I need more inboxes from you that will tell me what we are discussing each week. And we still have some topics in the queue, but we need new topics, fresh ones. That's right, from you. And so you can just inbox me right now and tell me, hey, I enjoyed the show, shorten this, lengthen this, give me your feedback, and drop me a topic in the inbox. And you'll never know when I will choose your topic, but I will never uniquely identify you, because we don't want people to have any concern about their specific topic being discussed. We don't judge here. We value all perspectives. We don't agree with all perspectives. No, we do not. And that's just fine. Because sometimes in hearing someone's perspective that I don't agree with, it informs my perspective. It shifts the paradigm of my thinking to say, maybe I could, maybe I should. And that's really a great beauty in doing that, to get people thinking about the way we think about love and the way we think other people think about love, so that we can spread more love. More love. That's what this world needs. You know it. And you got it. Because God loves you. Now it's time to love yourself more and love someone else. I'm going to read these last few comments, because I always do. And then I'm going to close out Love and Stuff, because I'm trying to keep it, Adrian is helping me to try to keep it within a certain time frame. Ain't nothing about marriage a fairy tale. Being married and committed to it every day is difficult at times, Andre says. When will they be able to get the t-shirts? I was hoping to have the t-shirts this week, but stay tuned. We're going to have the t-shirts so that you'll have a chance to make your video of them. We're going to be displaying your videos. And we're going to do our t-shirts wearing together, Veronica, for live in-person Love and Stuff. So just bear patient with me. I'm trying to tweak a few things and, get your input on the design. I hope you will enjoy it. And I hope that you will support it. It's going to help support a couple of charities, help support a young lady in college. And I think it will help our platform grow exponentially. So I appreciate your checking up on the t-shirts. Okay, it's dark. We would love for you to be inside the house. Thank you. My neighborhood is not that bad. Thank you, Carmen. Dang. Yes, Carmen. Say that, bro, Andre says. Yes, change what you want. I read that one. Yes, yes, yes. It will come to pass. Come on, Tabitha. Raise your hands. It'll come to pass. Adrian just got here. Got to listen to the recording. I know. Thank you, sir, for coming. Get your self-love right through him. That's a good close. Thank you, Tabitha, for that. That is a great close. Get your self-love right through him. Then you won't have to give up on your hope of love. Have a great night, Love and Stuff. Share with at least 5, up to 10 people. We got to get our shares and likes back up. We had a little dip last week, I think, because we were having some in and out technical difficulties, and it was the late edition. But we want to get it steady to a level of shares and a level of likes, so that we can make this Love and Stuff t-shirt go viral, and we can make this community go viral. Terry, the King, who has been in our Love and Stuff for the last few weeks, is launching out, starting a afternoon kind of Love and Stuff with a younger group, and I love that. I told him he better be in mine, though. I love it, because I want younger people. What if some of us who are in our 40s, like Andre said earlier, what if he had somebody told him, now you know you're not supposed to get married to her because of that? What if we get people when they're in their 20s or teens, and they can have an open, honest dialogue about this stuff, and they can talk to us who can inform them about, don't you dare do that, do this, that. Now, if we had that when we were in our 40s, there'd be some people that would have never seen their shoes under our beds. Y'all not with me, but you know I'm talking right. There will be some hearts that would have never been broken. Your heart, you wouldn't even know what heartbreak is. And I'm glad to some degree we learned it, right? Because we can now help somebody else. But let's do it. These young people want love. They want to be affirmed. They want all of the things that we want, but they want it in real time because social media is in real time. The world is in real time. They want all the stuff we wanted and more of it. What difference would it make in their life if they had the same thing? I'm done. I'm going on and on and on, but please share it with at least 5 to 10 people. And we've got Love and Stuff pockets showing up, and we want this brand to be worldwide, because it's a language that if I went to Japan and I had passion and love going, they would recognize that too. Have a great night. Love you all. I'll see you next week. I believe we'll have a guest next week, so you definitely want to tune in. I don't think you want to miss this show next week. Have a great night.